Was there ever a time you questioned how you parented your kids?
As I've gotten older and reflected on how I parented my first two versus our last two, it's different. So I would question the amount of pressure I probably put on the first two versus
To the second.
I think all the kids, there's a level of
Pressure.
because I think pressure makes diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the level to which I you know, because when you first have kids and you have a certain vision of how you think they're going to be or how you want them to be, it caused me to realize you have absolutely no real control of who they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to just understand that and release whatever version of them you had in your head, because they're their own people. It's the same way that maybe my parents had a certain version of who they thought I would be. I made my own choices. So I think that caused me to realize I have to lighten up and you cannot control them in that way. Once they get a certain age, you gotta trust that you gave the right foundation and that they're going to be productive citizens.
Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Aunties podcast. I am Joe.
I'm Key.
And I'm Jay, and we like to keep it real,
Raw.
And relatable.
while sharing our opinions
And experiences.
And feelings.
Okay. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Like he's fine.
Good.
So, I'm going to kick us off with a question.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
So, did you guys see the clip with Tracy Ellis Ross when she said that she only travels with, supposedly, only travels with 2 pair undergarments, and she washes them out in a hotel room?
I did see that.
I didn't see
So,
that, but okay.
Of course, it was a clip, and, context is everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think what I got from that is like, she's smart, because her purpose of doing that, she carries her undergarments and her carry-on luggage, 2 sets, in case her luggage gets held back or lost or some shit like that. What are you going to do, buy new undergarments? I think you should carry a whole fit in your carry-on.
Some people do. At least one. At least one set.
I never thought to do that.
Yeah.
I misunderstood what you just said. I'm thinking she's traveling. She's only carrying 2 pairs of under.
That was the clip, and that's what everybody thought from the clip. And so nobody didn't watch the whole interview, which most people don't do. They don't watch the whole.
And I do that. I will carry 1 or 2 with a pair of extra socks and an extra bra in my carry-on bag. But lately, the last few times that I've traveled, I'm carrying 1 bag. I don't want to run the risk of my luggage getting lost.
Yeah.
So I travel with just enough to get me through 1 week. But it's interchangeable and it's light, because I noticed the last few times I carried all this stuff that I never even got to top.
Yeah. I think so. I didn't watch the whole. I only saw the clip, the snippet of her saying 2 drawers,
But she cracked me up, because she even went on the show. She did a whole recording, and she showed them, this is what I do.
Yeah. Well, that also begs, so people started to be like, ew, you washing your underwear in the sink, and
That's what we did back in the day.
so what people no
With the wash,
when people
I didn't have a wash.
I mean, girl, you didn't have no damn washboard. You ain't old by that.
I didn't say I had a washboard. I'm just saying people had wash breaks back then. So
People were getting out of other eyes, and
Because she has money and she's not supposed to.
no, not even that. A little bit of that, but more like, why are you washing your dirty drawers in the sink of a hotel and all that stuff? So they were like, why are you doing that? Now, then it became a thing where there's different cultures that, particularly I know in the Caribbean culture, where women will wash their underwear in the shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they not
taking a shower.
Yeah, some pre-wash in the shower and then throw it in the laundry. Some just wash in the shower and that is it. So I mean, it's different. Everybody's learning something different.
Yeah, I just think it's a strategic thing, a smart thing to make sure you have something.
You should have something in your carry-on. You know what? And the thing is, when I used to travel out for business, I used to try to carry like one little, even if it's your shirt, a change of my undergarments, because until you lost your luggage, you know, you ain't gonna need that feeling of, oh, I gotta go run over here and run over there. And, I happened to me one time in San Francisco. The luckily thing is that I was in San Francisco, so many stores I could just easily pop in. But what if I didn't have the money?
Right.
To do it? I mean, I did, but
It's just
it's still, what if I didn't have the time?
yes.
So
Exactly.
until you should get lost, then you be thinking twice what you carry.
And you still run into the risk when you do only have the luggage that's a carry-on bag. If all the overhead, they're going to check your shit in anyway, so you have to be always prepared.
Always prepared to make sure that you're covered. So I personally didn't see. People like to make a big thing.
I know, and that's the thing. I just crack up at the people's comments and stuff. Like, people are hilarious. Like, come on, you're making a big deal over this. So what if she only travel with 2 undergarments? She washed them out. They clean.
Her business.
Like business.
In the sink, yeah. I'm like, okay, so where's she supposed to wash?
Exactly.
She can wash it in the
Shower, whatever.
Isn't that what different than using their washing machines if the hotel has one? Like, you still using
Something that somebody else use.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, I don't know. I think it's people are a little weird. They do weird things.
Everybody got something to say. That's what it is. Mind your business. I thought it was a good little
I think so.
social media.
Yeah.
Thing out there.
Yeah.
To chat on. I mean, it'll probably be old news by the time y'all see it, but hey, it may not be old news. You never know.
It's fine.
It's relevant news, regardless.
Exactly.
The whole relevancy of
There's what's up about travel,
extra shit, and understand that people do live differently.
Absolutely.
And get your hand out their pockets. It don't matter how much money she has. If she did only want to have 2 drawers and use that for the rest of the 5 days, that's a bit.
Maybe that's why she got a lot of money,
F that. Mind your business. Mind your business.
Me?
Mind your business.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not using them hotel cups any old day.
Real dancer.
Hello. So what topic are we diving into today?
Was there ever a time you questioned how you parented your kids?
Mm-hmm.
If you do have them.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit right here in my little corner and listen to y'all two give y'all answers.
Hello, aren't you not part of this conversation, ma'am?
Was there a time where I questioned? I think my parenting style. I would say as I've gotten older and reflected on how I parented my first 2 versus our last 2, it's different. So I would question the amount of pressure I probably put on the first 2 versus the second. So I think all the kids, there's a level of pressure because I think pressure makes diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the level to which I because when you first have kids and you have a certain vision of how you think they're going to be or how you want them to be, it caused me to realize you have absolutely no real control of who they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to just understand that and release whatever version of them you had in your head, because they're their own people. The same way that maybe my parents had a certain version of who they thought I would be. I made my own choices. So I think that caused me to realize I have to lighten up and you cannot control them in that way. Once they get a certain age, you gotta trust that you gave the right foundation and that they're gonna be productive citizens. So yeah, I did question, that I probably was more pressure than what it needs to be. Were they always allowed to be children? Absolutely. But there was a certain level of expectation I may have had or wanted them to do or be. And I'm not going to say it's unrealistic because that's not even it, but maybe that's not what they wanted. Yeah. So you got to let that go, So yeah, that's my answer.
I think for me, I don't necessarily know if I question my parenting style. Like, I try to think about things that impacted me as a kid and how I didn't want those same things to impact them, like having a voice and stuff like that. So I encourage that, and I'm glad I did that. There was a moment in time where I know I checked out for a period, and that's because of all the things that I was going through. Okay, and I probably wasn't parenting. Again, to your point, probably had more insight and more oversight over my older two than my younger one because I just didn't have the capacity. I was going through a lot, and she got away with some things, or I didn't intercept certain things between the disagreements that they had that I probably should have engaged in and been involved in. I just didn't have the capacity to do it, so I kind of checked out for a minute. So I think helping navigate those disagreements that they had at that time, because again, she's much younger than they were. And she had to stand on her own. I mean, I think it helped her at some point, but I don't know if it helped her then. It helps her now as an adult. She knows how to stand up for herself and have an argument, a constructive argument. Whereas as then she was a child, and I wasn't. That's to say that her siblings were super mean to her, but she was doing things, they were doing things, and I should have been more involved.
Okay, fair enough.
I did question as time went on. A situation took place, as you guys are aware, with one of my children that made me question everything I did prior to. And for a small period in time, I was actually feeling like I failed. But the more and more I realized they have their own personalities. No matter how much you try to instill, they're going to develop their own way of thinking. They're going to develop their own ideas on what life should be. And I stopped blaming myself for their errors. I still question some of the things that I did now, but for the most part, how I raised them, no, I don't regret how I did it. I just could have done things a little bit different.
Listen, as we all know, there's no manual, there's no book, there's no instructions. Nope, each kid is different. We were different with each kid. Learned different things. So I think we're going to always probably have some sort of question about something that we may have did or didn't do. But at the end of the day, I think, at least my opinion or my feeling, I think we all did the best we could. I think we did great jobs, honestly. I think was sharing with Kira earlier before the taping is how, like, yeah, we probably have certain aspirations and desires for our kids that they probably don't agree with or have the same. They're not going to go down that path just because we want them to.
Yeah.
But we have good kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say all three of them.
Yeah. I count my blessings each day. Like, I know they still figuring things out as adults themselves, and they're at the age that they should be, trying to identify who and what they want to be in life. So, but at the end of the day, I'm proud of my kids.
Absolutely.
I feel like I gave them enough space to figure things out on their own.
That's the biggest thing. Like I said, I always say I'm never going to be that helicopter parent, but I'm always going to have that tether so I can be your safety net. But at the same time, you need to live your life. Like, I don't need to be involved in all the things about your life. You need to live, experience life, and they're grown.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to trust that what you provided, they're taking. And at some point, so long as, like, I understand, like, when you say, you blamed yourself for things, and I understand other women that may be the case, but at some point, once you realize and take an accountability for whatever happens, you take account. Okay, I could have did this different than that. After that, once you've taken fully that accountability, it's like, all right, I've come to peace. I could have done that. Now we're here. Yeah, how should we move forward? Because they're adults.
Yep.
They have to make choices. They make choices. And some choices they make will land just like the choice we make. We'll land them here or there. So you kind of have to, it's tough. I have a question for you. Do you feel like you were trying to parent the kid you wanted versus the kid you actually have?
I think I had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And it was the years between of them graduating high school.
Okay.
I went to college after I had my kids. I was already in the workforce before I started having kids. And I remember them nights, man. getting them together, putting them to bed, and grinding 2, 3 o'clock in the morning or get back up. And so I didn't want that for them. I wanted them to go ahead and get their college early on.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn, like, that's not for every kid.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like 2020, like I kind of blame one of my kids because I was like, they messed up. And that was my money down the drain. I wasted my goddamn money. But at the end of the day, I pushed that child, right?
So they felt an obligation.
They felt the obligation, but that's not what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't really blame them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think take a little bit of accountability. You could have been a little bit more vocal, but I probably would have said, hell no, you're going anyways. Only because I wanted them to get that out of the way. I didn't want them to do it the way that I did it. And it's not to say that the way I did it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy, but it wasn't also hard either. I did it, right? So I got through it.
Yeah. Same here. My idea was Morehouse and Spelman. That was the idea that I wanted for my kids. And as time went on, I realized I can't force my dreams and expectations on them. That has to be something that they want.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the parent that lives vicariously through their kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that is dangerous.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes you have kids that grow up to feel like, I have to do this. I have to take on this job because I want to please my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're freaking miserable. The sacrifices that my husband and I make is so that they can explore and figure out what brings them joy so that they don't have to take on certain jobs that just to survive.
Yeah.
I think in terms of parenting the kid that I wanted, I mean, the kids that I have are what I wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a certain vision,
Mm-hmm.
but at some point you have to realize that your vision may not be their vision. And that's okay. You can guide them, but don't be like, this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. And then because I can't go down that track of this is what you gotta do when I also allowed them to be vocal on what they want.
Yeah.
So you can't. That's like me.
And maybe that's more what I did. It's more of a vision, not so much parenting the kids that I wanted because they're my kids. Yeah, obviously I wanted them. I had them, right?
Right.
But it was more about the vision I had.
You had to overshadow. Yeah.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to a football game at a college. You couldn't tell me I wasn't looking for my kids to cross over and do the step shows. I had all of that.
When I had a big vision, I just wanted them to go to college and be
because all of them played sports.
Not work just to survive, but work to live.
Two of them love to dance. So I'm looking at, and I was willing to even move down that area to ensure that I was at every game. I was at every step show, things like that. So my vision and what I wanted, as I said, as time went on, I realized, they don't want the same things. And not looking to do that.
Yeah. You gotta release that.
Yeah, absolutely. And college is not for everybody.
And I realized that
it's okay.
And I think more now than ever in the economy that we're in, especially with AI on the rise, I think that we need to be thinking about certain professions that won't be protected to a certain degree from AI.
Yeah.
So trade school is up. Not to diminish colleges, but trades,
it should have always been.
I think
because that's something that
people were looking down and like,
yes, and I think they were like, so where my kids went to school, that there was 2 schools that were high performance schools. One was more on the academic side, and one was more on the trade side. You had to have great grades to get into either of these high schools.
Yep.
And the one where the trade was at, you would be practicing your trade, a license to practice your trade in your junior year of high school. Yeah, so you're walking out of that high school with your certificate. Yeah, and you can go and start your apprenticeship and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't no easy walk in the park. You had to have good grades against school.
Yeah.
So but to your point, at that time it was college. But when I pushed this thing, I didn't think trade, right?
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now and our wonderful kids that we've raised, do you believe your kids see the growth in you as a parent that they want? Do they see the growth in you as a parent?
That's another podcast.
Oh,
my daughter's starting to realize why I did what I did, slowly but surely. It wasn't always like that. I'm still getting criticized of how I parented them. but she appreciates and realizes why I did what I did. Same thing with my boys. They knew I sacrificed. They knew what I went through to make sure that they had somewhat of a decent life as a single parent, say. But in the beginning, they were angry. They were angry.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten one apology already. So I'm just waiting on the other two for them to fully understand what I sacrificed.
Mm-hmm.
First. So do they know, like, because I just wonder, do we as parents even be that honest and that transparent with our kids when you're making certain sacrifices? How important is that for them to understand?
I spoke of this throughout the entire time I was raising them, but they couldn't see that. The kids. Regardless of the fact I was always at every game, I was always present at school. Anytime anything was happening or anything was going on, I was always there. I even coached. So even with me doing what I did and the times that I had to go for days working and you didn't see me, I still made it an important point to be at important events for my kids. But to them, I still wasn't home enough. They was looking for that parent to be there every day, not doing the long hours. So they see it, but they don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Even as adults.
Even as adults.
Interesting. Okay.
So one of them has said they realized and they've apologized for giving me such a hard way to go at times.
Mm-hmm.
The other two acknowledges it, but they still at times will criticize what I did and why I did it. And
what was the question? The first question?
Do you believe your kids see the growth in you as a parent?
Think so. I think they see the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I think particularly they see in us, they see it. I think they also see that we're in a different stage. We're super hands off, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe too much. I don't know. We could be too much, but they also know that I'm very much like, you live your life.
You mean too much as in hands off? Too much or just too much in
like people? No, like hands, like even because I'm like, live your life, like, and we're very quick to be like, oh, we're gonna go over here. Wait, and then literally in the group chat, we're going here, and they're like, what is going on? And I'm just like, dude, we're living, you live, So I think they definitely see the evolution. I think the older two definitely see and remember the progression.
Mm-hmm.
And I venture to see even the younger two understand like some of the struggles, but they didn't really have to live through it a lot.
Right.
But they definitely can appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will probably look at our kids like, they spoiled. I try to make it a happy balance. It's a happy balance in giving them what you didn't have, but also making sure that they don't have a sense of entitlement. I can't stand a kid, a human being with a sense of entitlement.
Right.
It gets under my skin. So it's definitely a happy balance. But I think they, like I said, they see the evolution and they understand.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Yeah. I agree. I think they see, because like we were young parents,
yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. So we had some growing to do too. So I think they see.
It's funny. We were all out to dinner, literally like maybe 3 weeks ago. And now that you just said that we were young parents, my oldest son said, yo, we were sitting at the dinner and he was like, he just asked us to say something. He was like, Mom, Dad, y'all was bugging. He was like, y'all was bugging. So we were like, what are you talking to me? He's like, the age you had us?
Right.
And he said, listen, I appreciate y'all stuck together. It's 4 of us. Y'all stuck it. He was like, but real talk, y'all was bugging. He was like, I can't even imagine having a kid right now. He was like, hell no. He said that level of response. He said, but y'all did it. Y'all was here for us. But he was like, real talk, y'all was crazy. He was like, that
crazy. Talking is different.
Yeah.
So it was something I also seen that there are more people having kids in their 40s and older now than in their young year from now.
And that I'm still saying hell no.
I could never. But I understand they are.
Not young parents. There's not as many young parents as there was. Like when we were young parents and we were still growing and we were still learning. So I mean, it they don't see it. Hell, I see it. Shit, but I know my kids see it. I know my kids see the growth in me. In terms of who I was raising them and who I am now as a woman. Period. And I'm happy, like, because especially when you're going through certain things and you don't want your kids to see or witness that, or you don't want them to think that this is what life is.
Yeah.
So when they see that, it's temporary.
Yeah.
Things can get better. Things will get better.
Yeah, they need to see that.
I love for them to see that. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to be stuck in these certain situations. So I think it's important.
I think on the flip side, so we always make jokes, right? And we always say, like, getting pregnant at 40, oh my gosh, we're like, hell no. And I think the reason why we feel that way is because we did it so young. However, I also think, and reflecting, if I was older in my 40s or late 30s having a kid, perhaps there would have been, even though I had a level of patience, but maybe I would be more patient. There's a level of maturity. It is that you'd have then versus that you did not have at 18.
Yeah.
Did you not have at 20, 25? It could be. So many of those. You got money. You should be more established. You can afford different things. So it's like there's pros and cons in each way.
Each way, exactly.
And I've spoken before about this, saying that I would have done things a little different had I had known what I know now, but I still wouldn't have waited until I was 40 to have kids. I knew if I didn't have by 30, I wasn't having any. I didn't want to be in an age bracket where I'm walking down the aisle at their graduation with a damn cane. What is it? Exactly. It's like,
if you keep yourself up, think about it, 40s to 60s.
but see, that was my conception about how
Exactly. So you see, now it's coming out, right? I mean, she thought 60, be like, damn, I'm gonna be with your wig and the grandma. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You go say the same thing at 16 you're saying now. So you're like, listen.
So it's a different, it's all relative. But yeah, so, but I think there's pros and cons to.
Because look at it. Me growing up, all my aunts were already in their 60s. They were older because of the age of my parents. So I didn't see
the
younger mothers or grandmothers at that time.
Yeah.
So to me, anybody over, as I said, 40, to me was old.
Yeah.
And that was just always my perception of it. And then now as I got older and I get there and she's telling me she's having a baby and I'm like, yeah, I'm not ready to be nobody's grandmama. Because I don't look like a grandmother.
Yes, that you had a certain image of what that was.
Most grandmas don't look like grandmas these days. They're looking different these days, baby.
Man, listen, they're living their best life.
I know that. I definitely think we did a good job. I have some comments from our viewers on an episode.
Okay.
It's the one where Return of the Absent Father.
Okay.
Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
So it was on one of our posts. We talked about the father being gone, but now wants to come back like nothing happened.
Okay.
So the viewer responded. One of the viewers is a couple of this one was a hot chat over here. So one of the viewers responded, the damage is done. I didn't rekindle with my father until I was 27. He died a year ago. I didn't mourn his death. I mourned what never was.
Okay.
And then somebody.
Wait, hold on a second before that. That was the chat responding to that?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear it. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the response to that was like, I mourn what never was hit hard.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that's what God was just going to say. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because then that person didn't have a dad in their life. And, yeah, it sucks to not have, it sucks to know that your dad is alive, but he's not a part of your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not a great feeling.
Yeah. I had a friend like that.
I mean, you look at that one then.
No,
but I know you have another person, but I'm just saying.
They didn't even go to their father's funeral.
Yeah. No, that's different. I did. But because we rekindled the relationship. But it sucks when you don't have it and you want it. And then you're moseying on throughout life.
Yeah.
Because at some point you become numb and desensitized.
Yeah.
And maybe you at least for me,
yeah.
I was not, I mean, I know he was around. We just were not seeing eye to eye. And then eventually we rekindled that. But that was only because of my daughter asking. She's like, do you have a grandpa? I know daddy's father. Do you have a dad? And I was just like, my head was about to, you know, I never did.
That's the challenge. Yeah, how do you explain these things to your kids?
Well, I didn't explain it then. I knew his number.
I mean, so they asked the question.
Yeah, right? So, you know, she was wondering. She was like, I know, Dad, but do you? And I was just like,
you do want to see the...
then that's when I say, your granddaughter want to see you. And that's how that started. But what if she never asked?
Right.
Maybe we would have never. So it sucks.
It does suck.
You know, it really does. So I feel for that person. I get
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It sucks that they couldn't at least rekindle something before the death.
Because I just wonder how that's going to carry on in life. But who knows?
Yeah.
More power to them. And
yeah,
God bless you both. But two other... Oh, you have something to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, two other viewers had two other comments too. One comment that it should also go for the parents that physically there but emotionally checked out. That's true too.
Yeah, that's a big.
So like, if you physically did, I mean, hey, we ain't doing nothing. Then
That sucks.
well, it's almost like, what's the point? Might as well not be here.
Yeah.
But that's horrible. And the last one commented, not interested. My mom told me my dad had a heart attack last year, and I felt nothing. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. And that makes you wonder, like,
You're not.
I mean, can't tell people what to do, but I would challenge them to make sure you're really okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you're not really okay?
Well,
I mean, the way it is, like,
it's like I think I'm okay, but maybe you know what I'm saying. I'm fine. I'm it'd cool.
we could read it. Yeah, I think I'm okay. Done. No problem. Or it could be, I think I'm okay.
Maybe I'm not. And yeah, that's on how you. Yeah,
That's it. I looked at it. Maybe I'm not. So you need to address that.
yeah.
We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in and responding and giving us some things to bring back to the people and to you. So keep on tapping in. So, did you have any more on our actual topic? Because I think that was
I had a question.
That's so. Go for it.
So now my question to you guys is, who influenced your parenting style? Your mother, your father, or a combination of both?
Neither or. My parenting style was influenced a little bit by the way I was parented.
Okay.
So I would say it's a combination of a number of different people, right? So between my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, because that's kind of like what took place.
Mm-hmm.
And it took all the great things that I liked,
Okay.
and then I inserted the things that I didn't have. I incorporated those things.
Okay.
So that's,
So you put your own spin
I
on
put very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
And I think that's important too. Like my mother, my daddy wasn't there. So my mom influenced and my grandma, my great grandma. I had a lot of women. And then my grandfather definitely helped out in terms of, being that male figure
Yeah.
around. Outside of their dad. But definitely my mother. And, there are going to be things that your parents did or didn't do that you like or don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you take the things that you want to keep carrying on and keep moving forward, and hopefully your kids will too. And the things that you just didn't, you just don't bring in. That you just don't do it. Like one of my things, like my mother came from that era of be seen, not heard kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
Yeah, I like it.
And I did not do that with my children. And I got, critique that I might give my kids too much room for opinions and all that kind of stuff. Because they mattered to me. I wanted to hear how they felt because I didn't always have the opportunity to say how I felt. But that's also because that's generational. That's how she was taught. And that wasn't. So sometimes you don't know how to break certain cycles. Like you keep carrying certain things on that you shouldn't carry on.
That's a big.
And things that you should. Sometimes you don't. Like some people don't carry certain things on that they should.
They should. That's right.
So I think my mother was a good influence. I mean, she taught me how not to be a hovering parent, to allow my kids to make some of their own mistakes, and let them come to me when they wanted to tell me. So, like, my mother didn't. She knew certain things was going on. She was not a meddling parent. She let me come to her.
Okay. I had a combination, a combination of both parents, but my father influenced, and I realized that more and more. Plus, my mother used to point that out to me all the time. I had a lot of his ideas and how things were supposed to be. But then I threw my own spin on it because there was things that he did do that I didn't like. And I just swore I would never do that with my kids. I grew up in the era of being seen, not heard. And your opinion really didn't mean nothing. Whatever I said went. I tried to give options.
Don't ask me why.
Yeah.
I said so.
Yes. And I still did that. But then there were times, depending on the situation, I would allow them to express why they felt that way or give my reason on why I'm saying no. But there was a lot of times that I didn't care. Whatever I said went. And I started slowly coming out of that because I was realizing I'm now doing what my dad did with me type thing. So I tried to be that new school parent, so to speak. In what ways do you provide emotional support for your kids? Even now that they're adults, did you give them that support back then? I guess I'm answering my own question because I just said I didn't care half the time. I felt about stuff. Yeah. But I know your parenting styles were different than mine.
Yes.
So did you, allow your kids to express?
I did.
You did.
I did. And I think that in the beginning was a challenge with my husband because that's not something that he was used to. But we had to talk about it and say, I hated when someone said, just because I said so, like that, but like logically, I needed to understand if you told me not to do this, what is the reason? As a kid, it got me in trouble. Let's be clear. But I was relentless with it. I didn't care if they knocked me upside the head, down the hall, whatever. I'd take the hit, but I still go back. But why?
Yeah.
I was relentless. Like I needed the answer because if I just figure it out, I needed you to tell me.
My son was we call him the why kid. So he always asked why. See, everything was why. And funny story is, one of my aunts, my family thought my kids was hilarious. I have no idea why, but he would like someone asked why. So my aunt knew that whatever she said to him, he was gonna ask why. So she would give him the answer and the whole explanation, so he wouldn't ask why. I never forget that she did that to him, and he was like, he said nothing. He was just silent. He had no why.
He had no why. And she gave him. He was like, okay,
Yep.
okay, but that's more sufficient because here's the thing. I feel like when you explain, okay, if you do this, this is the reason why, or I need you to do this, like hurry up and get this right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes you cannot because the situation is going down. You can't explain.
Right.
In that case, I would say to them, I need you to do this right now. I'll explain later.
Right.
But I need you to really do this right now. And then when we get in the car, we're out of the thing. I'm like, here's the reason why I did this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now maybe some people say you're giving them too much information if it's a little bit elevated beyond their mental capacity. I don't believe that. I would always say it in a way that I know that they can digest it and make sense of it, because then I'm helping them understand critical thinking, how to make choices, how to make decisions, and understanding how to exercise discernment. This is why mommy did this. This is why daddy. So I just believe in explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. And emotional, we say emotional support. The other piece to that is I need to be, what I try to foster within, because it's 4 of them, right? So I try to make sure that if they don't feel comfortable coming to mom and dad, because understand that they're not going to feel comfortable coming to mom and dad about certain things. Yeah. But I want them to feel comfortable going to their siblings. That's super important, because if something happened to one of us, I need to know that they're all they got.
Right.
And they, so you have to feel comfortable enough to do that. So we try to create an environment where you can talk freely about a variety of different things. We try to do it together. I try to do it just with my girls. My husband tries to do it just the boys. Because there's certainly going to be certain things that the boys are going to want to talk about that they're definitely not going to talk about with their mama, right? So, and that's cool. Yeah. But I think it's important to have that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
How do you gather, or have you gathered feedback from your parenting from your children?
Because at a young age, talk. Like I never, like to your point, they want to know why we have that dialogue.
Okay.
They are pretty vocal in saying if they think, why y'all did this and I just don't understand that, or asking questions for clarity.
Yeah.
They're pretty vocal. And I think we're getting that more as they've gotten older.
Okay.
And they can really see, dang, like I said, my son was like, yo, y'all was tripping. When he really wrapped his head around it, like understanding at his age, he's about to be 29. And knowing at the age of 29, I already have 4 kids.
Yeah.
He was just like, I can't even imagine. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
We try to we talk about different things and good decisions, bad. Like we're a little bit more vulnerable. Like we've shared with them when we fucked up money.
Okay.
They couldn't see it.
Right.
They were alive.
Right.
But we've shared because it's important. Like it's terms of parenting style. I don't want to, maybe 20 years ago, I probably would have never felt comfortable sharing, oh my gosh, we're strapped for cash or whatever with my kids. First of all, they shouldn't know that. I don't put that pressure on.
You don't.
Yeah.
Because then they won't ask for
There's a certain mindset.
Yeah, Chris, that's scarcity, man. Yeah, I don't want that. So we did hide a lot of that. So when they see things now, I'm very intentional saying, oh no, baby. Credit? baby, your mama had 400 credit at one point. You know, I share that shit. But we had to sacrifice and build it up. You know, I share when we lived in an apartment and in the Bronx and had no like living room furniture for a year. Y'all had beds and all that stuff. No living room furniture for a year. It was okay.
Yeah.
You ate, y'all was saving. I was saving. The goal was to buy a house, right? And eventually we got the living furniture. But you get what I'm saying? Like I share it now so they understand.
Absolutely.
Because they're grown.
Yeah.
And so they understand the sacrifice. So I'm very big on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know they're sharing now, but I think that was one of the things that I didn't do. They didn't know. They didn't see that because I was emotionless. I didn't share.
Back then they didn't.
But even though I struggled, they would never know that.
Because they shouldn't as kids.
That's what whole spirit sit back you go. Master back then, but
now you can have that conversation like joke. Yeah, and yeah, I mean to answer your question, my kids are, especially my girls. My girls, we have conversations and we go back and forth because our thing is like we always trying to figure out how we could communicate better with each other. Because
I love it.
We have moments where we're not always in tune or we're not,
that's not
thinking
true.
How we're saying something and how it's being received. So we have those conversations. I think it's important. We have that feedback loop, and because I need to be checked sometimes. And so in a respectful way, of course. It's never disrespectful, but I need to understand how I may be coming off to them because I may not have that self awareness at that moment because I may be wrapped up into whatever the hell I'm going on, and I don't have the wherewithal or the capacity to think about how they feeling at that moment.
Right.
And my youngest daughter, she's really good about it. My oldest daughter's always been the one that just look at you like you crazy. She still do that to this day to piss me off. But she's even gotten better about saying how she feels in that moment. But my younger daughter, in that moment, she will say, why did you say it to me that way? Why did you have to take that approach?
Yeah.
So I think it's important.
It's important.
Yeah.
It is.
I've been doing that more lately. Like all this self-reflection. I've had conversations with 2 of my kids already about how did they feel about how I parented them back then. Why do you feel the way you feel? And try to have that open dialogue.
That's good though. That's a start.
Yeah, we started it, but I know there's one conversation at some point I'm going to need to have with the third one. I'm preparing myself for what's to come.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Because I'm hearing the comments all the time, but we haven't had the dialogue yet.
Yeah.
I need to know why you felt that way.
Yeah.
Did you, all the kids are different, right? Did you find that all the kids feel the same way or they have different feelings?
They had different feelings. So certain things, yes, they all felt the same way. But as I said, there's one that felt that I was more abusive, so to speak, with her, with our brothers.
She's the oldest. All the oldest kids are all that way. They feel like he just took everything out on them. No, they're the oldest.
But for the most part.
Yeah, the dialogue. That's the main thing. Just to talk about it.
And it's only been like that now because I'm reflecting.
Yeah. Which is important.
Yeah.
It's very important. And you're reflecting, taking accountability where you need to, and that's the main thing. That's all you can do. So I appreciate it. Sure. Call me out. Listen, we're human. We're human. I have my breakdowns
exactly. But they're not superheroes as much as kids like you think they parents are. We're not superheroes. They're people too.
I be needing a moment,
right?
And especially when things like don't go or I get annoyed, I need a moment. Like leave me be.
I used to walk through the door. Kids, today wasn't a good day. I need a minute. I'm telling you now. Don't do anything.
Yep.
I see you. No, I said don't do it. I say I warned you. Do not do. Said it too. I know you. You see the difference. I said I didn't warn you. Get the fuck out of my face. Now that's not the way I did.
I wasn't thinking about it. I'm reflecting now. It's the third thing I did.
We live and we learn.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I definitely try. I try to, even as women, knowing what I went through during certain times of the month, I would give them a heads up. It's not good. I'm gonna be by myself. Please don't do anything to get yourself in trouble because it's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
I would always give them that forewarning, which is good.
I have a funny story. So with that, during that time of the month when I was going through and finding out about the endometriosis, my youngest one, he realized during like 6 months when I would get extra emotional, I was throwing dishes and breaking shit. So when he was already witnessing certain behaviors that I was doing, and one night he caught me, and what he did was he took my hand and sat me on the couch, took my shoes off. He said, "Ma, just relax. I'm gonna bring you some tea."
Oh,
But it didn't make me realize why he was doing all that until after he brought the tea to me, and I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "No,
no,
are you okay?" That is exactly how he did it. He said, I said, "Why are you doing this?" He said, "I'm just trying to get you to calm down before you go and break another dish."
oh, that's sweet.
So I just thought that was
Yeah.
funny.
The kids be knowing.
And they realized that he said he just saw that I was going through something, and every time is that time of the month for you, I see that you get extra emotional. So here's some mint tea.
They be knowing. That's the was a good son. Yeah, they definitely pay attention to everything.
So I just have two unpopular opinions and or myths.
Okay.
Those are teaching your kids to work hard and develop their talents is great, but telling them they can do anything if they just want it bad enough sets them up for a big disappointment when they don't end up as an Olympic gold medalist, billionaire, or astronaut.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
You think telling your kids that they can be and do anything they want bad?
I don't think it's bad because I think the reality is, okay, you definitely want to level set the expectations, but at the same time, it's like, I say you can do anything you want so long as you work hard enough for it and put in, understand that, listen, you can aim for what they say, aim for the stars and get the sky. You're getting somewhere, so the sky is the limit. Let's be clear. Like,
Exactly.
shit anything can happen. Yes, you may not get the outcome or the end goal that you want, but you don't know unless you try. So as you start saying, don't do that because of this. That's a scarcity mindset. I don't believe in that.
Exactly.
So I have a question then. So the new ways of parenting now with technology on the rise, what are your thoughts around how parents have to parent their children now versus how we had to parent them?
With social media?
With social media, with,
It's definitely challenging. Yes, it's challenging.
Do you think we would have been able to deal with it back then if technology had taken a role in that back then?
What, and taking a bull and what? I'm sorry.
In terms of how we parent them. Because now you have kids who get in phones earlier than how we were raised, and social media, and how you have to parent them on the things that they put out in social media versus we didn't have that back then.
I did. So I had a little bit of it. I still had a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Fine, right? Yeah. It's different for you. I had a little of it. So first of all, with the first set of kids, because that's the one that's really, the second set, obviously, which is definitely social media. I've learned that you can try to control what they had visibility into. Now, granted, the first set, there was no Instagram. Until then, they had the Twitters, but that was much when they're older.
Yeah.
Still in maybe high school or whatever, but still. And they had the Facebook, but they wasn't even messing with that too tough. But I think I would put, okay, don't be on it this time or whatever. The younger kids, I tried to hold off on them getting a phone as long as possible. I got them a phone when it was necessary.
Yes.
Because you don't want, like that. Now, mind you, my son, he wanted a phone. And I told him, you build me a business case for why you need it. Because he wanted that phone. People, the business guys, like, I want to know why you think you need a man. But that's how I challenge them to think. You don't just tell me a phone because your friend has it. Everybody has it.
Right.
Why do you think you need a phone? What are you going to use it for? Like, build out the case.
Yeah.
Build out the case for it. And he did. Did I give him the phone that year? No. We waited. But then he ended up getting it.
Yeah.
So I think my style of parenting now, because I've learned that you can try to put parameters on the social media. You can be in there checking to see who's seeing what kind of conversations is have, especially with like different iPhones. I'm sure Android had the same thing too, where you can check the text messages and all that. It's all linked. You can definitely see that. Yeah. I probably would be a parent that is making sure what y'all second, what's the other person saying, what's it, especially given the age. Yeah. If they're 9 to 16, maybe even 17, depending on their maturity level, then I likely will be checking. I likely will put their parental guide like this. There's a certain time that you can have it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we can do all these things at home, but when they get in school, baby, They don't got to use their phone. They could see their friend's phone. Here, let me show you. Did you see a TikTok? You know what I'm saying? So it's you can try. The bigger thing is educating them.
Yes.
On why you shouldn't look at this. Why you shouldn't. Or if you're gonna look, let's talk about what you just saw and what's the good and the bad.
Yeah.
How that whatever this girl posted is a decision. What I always say with my kids is the choices that you make, it sucks. But the choices that you make, even from 10 to 14, it sucks. But those things can haunt you for the rest of your life. Yeah. So, yeah.
So a question to piggyback off of that question, would you feel some type of way if your grown children blocks you from their social media pages? Would you feel some type of way?
I'm sure I don't know all their pages. I don't feel a type of way. They're grown. Come on, just like
I don't feel some type of way in the beginning, but they
grown as they're grown.
But now they don't block me. If it literally,
why did you feel a type of way?
Because I want to be able to see what the hell they were doing or what.
No. I want to make sure. I want to clarify. They're grown.
Yes,
and they block you from certain things, and you really upset about that?
For a short moment, yes, I was. Why are you blocking? Well, what are you so scared of? What are you doing that you don't think I should be able to see that?
So this conversation came up with me and a couple of friends, and one friend, she's like, listen, she's grown. There's things that she do that I don't necessarily agree with, and she blocked me, and she's grown. And then the other person says she's blocking you out of a sense of respect. Like she doesn't want you to see.
And that's what my kids explained to me.
So I was like, at the end of the day, I would prefer my kids not to block me, but I don't police them like that anyway.
Yeah. It wasn't so much policing, as I said. If they're grown, I would think that you're doing things responsibly. So if you're doing it was just, I wanted to be a part of that. Even if I don't comment, I wanted to be able to see your thought processes. And when I saw that they weren't allowing me or befriending me in the beginning, yes, it bothered me. But then now that they see that I'm more into the social media and stuff, I can see all their pages now. Some of them, if it's funny or, I'll comment or I'll just do the happy face or do some type of emoji.
Yeah.
But I don't never judge them about the stuff that they're doing. Now, there's only one post. No, there's two that they did that I, sent her a comment. I said, you're getting older. This may bother you if you're trying to go for a job later on. I think
she commented on the post?
No, I sent her. Oh, it's her. No, now.
Because I would say, they going to block?
Oh, no. And I knew that's why I sent the message versus she initially didn't take it down, but then I guess she thought about it and thought.
Sometimes these reflections.
Yeah, and she took it down.
I guess my thing on it is I can't expect my kids to share absolutely everything with you because I did not do that.
Exactly.
So you got to equate that to the modern days.
Yes.
So does it bother me that I'm on enough for their social media?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need to be on everything.
Yeah.
I gotta trust that they're being responsible, and they don't have an obligation to show me because we didn't do it for our parents. So I don't. It's like, okay, it's fine to me. Yeah.
Wrong. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't feel any type of way. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't feel one way or the other. I just hope they wouldn't feel the need to. I hope I don't give them the feelings like I need to hide this from my mom because she's gonna have something to say about every little.
Yeah.
Y'all grown.
Anything before we close out?
I just had 2 fun facts, and that is it. Fun fact.
Okay.
Studies indicate that parenting styles can influence a child's personality traits. For example, children raised in authoritative environments often develop traits like empathy, independence, and social competence.
Okay.
The rise of technology has led to the emerge of digital parenting, where parents must navigate issues related to screen time, online safety, and social media. This new challenge has created a shift in traditional parenting discussions and styles.
Yeah, it's different now.
Yeah, it's different because it's not the telephone conversations that they're hearing from their friend on the block. They seeing these things, so you have to inquire, ask them. Like some things like before with social media stuff like that was music. Why are you listening to this type of music?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So it's different things. Everything changes.
Everything's evolving and changing. So good luck out there. Best of luck to you.
Yes.
And on that note, peace.
Deuces.